Hey there, welcome to my channel. I'm Jeanette, and in this video I wanted to combine acrylic pouring and hand lettering. I'm gonna use the acrylic pouring as a background for the lettering, and as usual, if I'm doing an acrylic pouring on paper, I'm gonna tape it to a canvas so that you can grab it better. I hope that makes sense. You can actually do normal acrylic pouring on top of that. I'm using watercolor paper in this case. I also did it with lettering paper once. It actually dries flat, so this is good, but the only issue I had later on that the paper dries flat but not the paint, and that was kind of tricky to find a good pen for this one, but we'll get to that later. I think acrylic pouring is such a beautiful background for hand lettering, same like with watercolor backgrounds. The only issue you should keep in mind that you can't really control it, so not every acrylic pour painting is good for lettering. If there's just too much going on, too many cells and too much contrast, if you have like many dark and light colors but all kind of like mixed together, your lettering won't pop as much. So what you could do instead, if you really have a painting where there's just a lot going on, just try to get a white background to the lettering or a white shadow, or if you're doing a card, just maybe use a piece of paper, a white paper or whatever color you want, doesn't matter, and do your lettering on that and then stick that or glue that on top of your acrylic pouring painting. Is it really acrylic pouring painting or acrylic pour painting? I already asked that once, so if you know it, leave it in the comments below. Yeah, I must say, because I used watercolor paper, it was more tricky to kind of get it off, so I used the knife to kind of help a little. To be honest, it did go a little underneath the tape here. At first I thought, oh, that goes off really easily, and then it turned out that it's not that easy, but I mean, I got it off. And remember, you can always cut the white edges off if you don't like it, or if the paint did go underneath the tape, and I don't mind it that much, but it can be annoying, so you can still cut the white edges off. So, and then comes the lettering part. My plan was to kind of draw it first with a pencil, but you couldn't see the pencil lines, so I kind of used directly my Tombow pen, but not the smartest idea either, because it's really thin. Maybe you can sketch it out first with a water-based pen, and if you run out of space, I would first do it without even touching the paper. And then you could go over with the water base. I used here the Ecoline. Actually, I didn't want to sketch it out. I wanted to use it with the Ecoline, but didn't work as fine or as good as I wanted it, so I tried out to use a Crayola Super Tip. Not the best idea either, but then I went over and wrote the whole word with the Crayola Super Tip and decided for full calligraphy, which is good because if you do make a mistake, you can still erase it. I kind of smudged it, I went over with my hand a little later and smudged it a little bit, and because it's water-based, I could remove it with a water brush pen and a tissue. So I actually tried quite a few different pens, and I think I wasn't that happy with the Crayola Super Tip either. And here you can actually see how I smudged it over and remove it with the water brush. So it might be helpful to kind of line it out or write the word with a water-based marker and then go over with a permanent marker. And here you can see that I tried with the permanent marker, but I wasn't happy with that much either, because I don't know, I think I saw kind of like a purple shimmer, or it kind of looked purpley and not really black. And and it didn't really, I got kind of like white stripes, so it didn't fill in so well, so I wasn't really happy with that one. I later on went over with a brush pen, like a water brush pen, but already filled with ink, but which I later found out those are water-based too.